Know the difference. A message for children, for the children's ear. My salutations to all pious souls. Children, the Guru energies have decided to celebrate this year as Children's Year. And in the same context, today I will try to explain to you all the knowledge that I have gained in the past 60 years in the field of meditation itself. There are many topics which people are unable to understand in their entire lifetime. Although these topics are different, people make the mistakes of considering them to be one and the same. I am writing everything very clearly so that you may not make this same mistake and you may understand these topics properly, and that you don't have to spend such a long time in understanding these topics like me, who had to spend 60 years of life on them. Firstly, the difference between God and Paramatma. Both these words appear to be same in common usage, and people too use them considering them to be the same. Both these words may appear the same, but in reality they are not the same. God is one who has form and color, and one who can be seen, one who has a shape, one who is a medium for Paramatma's power. This is also why many gurus add the name Bhagwan after their name, because their disciples consider them to be a god. God is always a medium of Paramatma's energies. He can be a guru or an idol, but Paramatma is that eternal, imperishable power which existed yesterday, exists today, and will exist tomorrow as well. It is universal consciousness. It cannot be a physical body or an idol, because a physical body is perishable. If it is a physical body, then it is definitely perishable. And yet it is said, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, means the Guru is the all knowing consciousness personified. So that we do not look at the Guru's body and focus our entire chitta on the consciousness that is flowing out of the Guru's body. This can happen only when we unsee what is seen. Direct our chitta towards what is not seen and instead focus only on what is felt, and place our chitta on that. When we are present in front of Guru, then our attention must not go towards what the Guru is speaking, how he looks, what type of clothes he has worn, what is his skin color, how tall he is he fat or lean, which language is he speaking, in what manner is he speaking, what gestures he is making. Is he seated with the eyes closed or open? Our attention must not go to such physical attributes. All our attention must be on the cool consciousness flowing out of his body. Always remember that the Guru is a puppet. He has entrusted all his strings into Paramatma's hands. He does not possess anything that is personal or his own. In reality, the Guru is the medium of Paramatma. Even if he bats an eyelid, then that too is because Paramatma bats an eyelid. He does not have any actions of his own. Just as when we see a puppet show in life, in the show, the puppets are of various shapes and types. But all this is just to show us, and all the gestures done by the puppet are guided by the puppet artist, the puppeteer, from above. It is the same way with the Guru, who is a puppet, and whatever gestures that he does are guided by Paramatma. He does not have any expressions or gestures of his own because he is a physical body, and yet he is not a body. The puppet dances to keep your attention on it, and there is only one objective, that your attention should remain focused on the puppet and nowhere else. That is why the puppet shows all kinds of expressions and gestures. In the same way, the Guru too will speak to you by coming down to your level, your spiritual state. What he speaks does not have any meaning. He only does it to keep your attention glued to him through the medium of his words, so that when you are in his proximity, you may always remain thoughtless. Just as while playing with small children, older people play horsey horsey and pretend to be a horse. Actually, we know from within that we are not a horse, but we play act as a horse for the sake of playing with children. In the same way, a guru too will do many things to keep your attention focused on Him. He will talk about different things. He will play act many dramas, but his body has only one objective, that your chitta may remain thoughtless, and it may remain fixed on him, so that the consciousness flowing out of his body can reach within you. This is the one and only objective that a guru has. Therefore, always remember that whenever you are fortunate enough to be in the proximity of a guru, you must focus your entire chitta on the consciousness that is flowing out of his body. Only then will the proximity of the guru will be well utilized. The moment your attention goes to his words or his clothes or his appearances, then understand that you have wasted his proximity. Just as whatever actions the Guru may be performing physically, his single objective is only to lower your body consciousness and develop your soul. In exactly the same way, you too must have only one objective: to absorb Paramatma's consciousness that is flowing through the medium of his body. There is nothing else at all. Whether you believe the Guru to be the God or Paramatma, all the understanding happens through the body, whereas believing happens through the soul. I am sharing this based on my personal experience. Even after Shiv Baba, my Guru, authorized me in the Himalayas, many other Gurus also entered my life. They were of different colors, they were of different shapes and types. They were visible. They had not a physical body, so I considered them to be gods. But deep within, I believed them to be Paramatma indeed, so that my focus should remain only on the consciousness itself that was flowing out of their body. And this is the reason why I was able to absorb their supreme consciousness. We always receive the proximity of the Gurus due to the good karmas of our previous birth. But how you use the proximity, that depends entirely on you. The best use of Guru's proximity is to absorb Paramatma's consciousness that is flowing out of Guru's body. The Guru is like pure Ganga water, water from the holy river Ganga. Do not drink it after mixing your own colors into it. drink it, considering it to be solely and only the holy Ganga water. By now, you must have understood that what you see or whatever has some color or form can be God, whereas Paramatma is the universal power of consciousness, the medium through which it flows. We consider that medium to be God. God will always have some or the other name and form, but Paramatma is the universal consciousness. He is omnipresent. He does not have any name. He does not have any color. And Paramatma is eternal. He was present yesterday. He is present today and will be present tomorrow too. Second, difference between religion and spirituality. Children, right from your childhood, as well as my childhood, we were told that we should always perform good deeds and we should not perform bad deeds. God is seated in the skies and He keeps on watching everything, all the things that we do. And all religious leaders of different countries all have said this same thing. If you do bad deeds, then God will be angry and shall punish you. Actually, the truth is that no such God exists in this world. There is no such deity who is seated in the skies, watching what we are doing. There is no such God. But that unseen power, which we all call Paramatma, that is the omnipresent power of consciousness. And it is because of this power itself that all of us are alive too. It is because of this power that a bud blossoms into a flower early in the morning. This power of consciousness, which is called Paramatma, does not have any color or any form. This power does not possess any shape either. Therefore, it cannot be seen, it cannot be heard, it can solely and only be felt. And all the religions in the world believe in this. The truth is that all religions are based only on deeds. If you perform good deeds, you will receive good returns. And if you perform bad deeds, you will receive bad returns. Now, tell me, if deeds are everything, then where is the place for Paramatma? Actually, what is considered to be religion in our society, that is not religion at all. That is merely a method of worship. And we are considering a method of worship itself to be religion. Actually, the truth is that there is only one religion in this world, and that is inner religion, meaning the religion of a human. Look, your method of worship may differ from mine. Still, our religion is the same because all of us are humans. In the ancient times, man used to live in caves. He used to hunt for his food. Later on, he created communities and learned to live in them. This means that initially man was completely wild, and all this rigmarole is an attempt to turn that wild man into a cultured person. All the great souls who gave up on the communities in this wild man's world and went to the jungle, they lived in the proximity of nature and attained knowledge in the natural form. And among those souls, very few returned to society. Then they shared their experience and gave guidance to everyone in order to try and make man cultured and civilized. The biggest attempt that all of them made was that we are all human beings and we are all one and the same. After their death, their own experience, what they had said, and their guidance itself took form of religion. All the methods of worship had the same objective to increase humanity in the people and to make human society cultured, to avoid unnecessary internal conflicts and wars. But those very methods of worship that they were made only with this objective. Today, man has started using them for his own vested interest. Today, these methods of worship are being used to separate man from man himself and to destroy human society itself. Children, you must always remember that there is only one religion that we call religion, and that is the religion of human. All the others that are called religions are not religions at all. They are only methods of worship, and all these are dependent on one's deeds. That means the karmas. This means that methods of worship are related to the physical body. First of all, the methods of worship separate one human from another. Secondly, all methods of worship are based on one's deed. Now man performs deeds using his body. This means that all methods of worship are related only and only to physical body itself. They are related to such an extent to the physical body that man has devised different rituals to be performed even after his death for destroying his physical body. In short, we have understood that what we understand as religion is merely a method of worship, whereas all of us have one single religion. We are all human beings, and so our religion is religion of human, and all other methods of worship are based on deeds of a person. There is no place for Paramatma in these deeds, whereas Paramatma is the power of universal consciousness, which is omnipresent in the universe. So, there must be some way at least to connect with it, and that path is spiritual knowledge or inner knowledge. In the field of spiritual knowledge, the method of worship which we call religion have no importance. In the Himalayas, my Gurudev used to say that man's caste, religion, nationality, language keeps on changing with every birth. Therefore, all these things are not permanent. If there is anything that is permanent, then it is the soul which resides with us in the form of Paramatma Himself. The other is the subtle body, which carries all the records of the spiritual progress that you have made in your lifetime. The third is the subtle energy, which we call Kundalini Shakti, which has all the records and the deeds performed by a person. It is because of this Kundalini Shakti that when a man is on his deathbed, all his deeds replay in front of his inner eye like a movie. You may simply understand that the place where all methods of worship come to an end, that is where the spiritual world begins. If the methods of worship are the staircase, then the field of inner knowledge is the house. And after reaching the house, all the stars, all the stairs themselves come to an end. Therefore, only such Guru who are seated on the staircase will speak about some method of worship. But the Guru who has reached the house will not speak about any method of worship, that is the stairs, because he has already reached the house. Saint Jnaneshwar had first put forth before society the idea of world religion in Book of Jnaneshwari, and this was based on self-realization. This means that once a person experiences realization of his soul, then he realizes that all of us are human beings and all are equal. So this knowledge will come to him automatically. He had also written in his book that the time for obtaining self realization would arrive after 800 years. Today, after 800 years, you are those fortunate souls who are living in this holy period of time. After attaining self realization, man experiences that his color, form, nationality, language, method of worship may differ from others, but all of us human beings are all same. The difference lies in the physical body, and it has been created by the man himself. The soul within each of us is the same, it is one. This means that the knowledge of oneness first comes from within. Secondly, once the self realization takes place, then man's outward search for Paramatma comes to an end, and he starts experiencing Paramatma within his own self in the form of soul. We had all been told in our childhood that God is watching everything that we are doing. This is true. God does watch us, but not from the skies. He is watching right from within you in the form of your soul. Whenever we do wrong deeds, it is our soul that tells us that we have done it wrong. Children, since the size of the body is big and the size of the soul is small, our soul can warn us when we do wrong, but it is not able to stop us. However, if our soul becomes more strong and powerful than our body, then it will not allow our body to perform any wrong deeds at all. The strengthening of the soul in this manner itself is spirituality. No importance is given to the body in the spiritual world. No importance is given to the faults of the body either. Only the power of one's soul is increased. This is just like the example of a 6-inch long line. Now, if you have to shorten this line without cutting or erasing it, then all one has to do is draw a longer line next to it. Then this line will automatically become small without erasing. First of all, understand that Paramatma is not anywhere outside. Rather, Paramatma is seated right within you. The more you are aware, the stronger it will be. And after that, Paramatma himself will start providing you the knowledge about what you must do and what you must not. And He will not only give you that knowledge, He will also not allow you to perform any wrong. The ordinary people live with body consciousness, but a yogi lives in soul consciousness. This means that his soul has a complete control over his body, and this itself is spirituality. Now, taking our self realization whenever you reach the right spiritual state in your life, then Paramatma's power of universal consciousness itself sends some medium of its own to your life. And the moment that medium arrives, he can also make you inward looking like him, provided you wish for it, and then you too can receive spiritual knowledge. Children, we know only about the material knowledge that we can learn from someone and that which can be taught. But I am talking about the inner knowledge. This inner knowledge is something that neither can be taught nor can be learned from anywhere. If our soul merges with the soul of Paramatma's medium, then our soul absorbs the inner knowledge inside the medium's soul in a subtle manner. And this happens effortlessly. Look, there is a U-tube in the science practical laboratory, which is a glass tube having two ends. If you pour water at one end, then half of it will automatically reach the other end. Inner knowledge too is exactly the same. I had received of some Jain gurus in the Himalayas, so my soul effortlessly received knowledge about the Jain religion from their soul. Neither did they give me anything, nor did I take anything. It was only that as long as I stayed with them, I remained completely surrendered to them. It is the same with the spiritual knowledge too. When one soul is completely surrendered to another soul, then it definitely happens. The feeling of surrender increases our receptivity, our capacity to absorb. Children, in this way, we came to know that what we consider as religion, that is only a method of worship, that all the methods focus only on performing deeds by the body. All the methods of worship are based on your deeds or on our karmas. In reality, there is only one religion in this world, and that is the religion of human or inner religion, because all human beings are equal, and the soul within everyone is also the same. Since my childhood, I was a religious person, and my entry into the field of spirituality also happened through religion itself. Therefore, I feel that every religion is a staircase and spiritual knowledge is a building, and once you have reached the building, then the importance of staircase comes to an end. Always remember, the staircase is a staircase and the building is a building. One has reached the building will never talk about the staircase. You too have taken birth on one or the other staircase, but you do not remain seated on the staircase all your life. Make it the goal of your life to reach the building. The difference between the body and the soul. Children, you must have seen the rose flower in the garden. Also, you must have inhaled its fragrance too. The difference that exists between rose flower and the rose fragrance, that is the same difference between the body and the soul. Imagine that if our body is the rose flower and then our soul is its fragrance. The rose flower is visible. It has shape, color, form. In the same manner, our body too has a shape, color, and form, and the fragrance is present inside the rose itself. But it is invisible, but it can be experienced. In the same way, our soul too resides within our body itself, but it is not visible. However, it can definitely be experienced when we become aware of it. When we see in society that people also live in three different levels in life, the first is the physical level. Maximum number of people live at physical level, but some people in society are intellectuals and they live at the intellectual level. The third are very few people, the rarest kind. Those are the people who live at the soul level. This means that the souls of such people are pure and holy. Let me explain this with an even simpler example. You must have experienced in your student life that there are three types of students among you who, if you have your own pen with you, then one type of student will snatch it from you by using physical force. The other type of student is the one who will fool you and certainly take away your pen. While among the third type of students, there may be some student who needs a pen, and you yourself will feel like giving him your pen voluntarily when you see him. Thus, the first type of student who snatches is the physical type. The second type who fools you is the intellectual one. And the one whom you feel like giving the pen voluntarily is the one is at the soul level. One whose soul level is good. He develops qualities of soul too, and everyone feels good in his proximity. Now, such a person may neither be good looking nor be able to talk well. Still, everyone feels good in his company. Children, the eras are also changing with the passage of the time. Earlier, it was the era of physical power or might. This means that the one who was stronger was more powerful, the one who had bigger muscles, the muscular thighs, arms were considered to be most powerful in the world. That era got over, and then came in the era was of the intellectuals. This meant that one who was most intelligent started being considered to be the mightiest of all. In this era, even an ordinary person can defeat a very powerful person simply by using his intelligence. Now, this era is also ending. The future era is the era of the soul. You yourself will see this era during your lifetime. Neither physical might nor intellectual power will be of any significance in this era because ultimately even the intellectual is related to physical body. The era that is coming will be that of the soul. The more that person will remain protected through his strong aura, and people around him will also feel safe. Look, the more something is rare, that much more it will gain importance. In the coming era, good souls will be rare, so it is natural that they will be considered superior and powerful too. That's why, children, you too must become pure souls and holy souls. Then the qualities of mighty soul will start developing in you. First of all, you must receive self realization from a medium of Paramatma because once you receive self realization, then there is nothing left to seek from outside. Self realization is called the birth of the soul, just as there are millions of women in the world, but we have only one mother. In the same manner, there is only one mother who gives birth to our soul. You should have a desire to meet your mother, then a medium of Paramatma will enter your life. And when you pray to the medium, you will receive self realization. After you receive self realization, your soul will be born, and the same medium who gives birth to your soul will be your mother of soul. This is why Maharashtra's one's own guru is called Mauli. Mauli means the mother who gives birth to one's soul. Once we receive self realization, we receive the greatest satisfaction of our life that I have attained Paramatma, and this is the greatest satisfaction of human life. Just as the goal of every drop of rain, water falling from the sky is to ultimately reach the sea, in the same manner, the greatest satisfaction of human life is only to attain Paramatma. As long as you don't obtain this satisfaction, your quest for Paramatma will continue. After self realization, when our soul experiences oneself with the medium soul, then we start receiving the introversive powers of the medium soul, and then we too start becoming introversive like the medium. And once we become introversive, we realize that the Paramatma whom people are searching for in temples and prayer houses actually exist within themselves. This is not something new. Saint Kabir Das ji has also said, "Where do you search for me, oh brother? I'm right here within you." Paramatma is right inside us. But just as we cannot see our own face without a mirror, in the same manner, unless we are able to see Paramatma within the medium, till that time we will not be able to experience the Paramatma within ourselves. All these things in the world, all the knowledge, takes our chitta outwards by giving us external knowledge. It is only soul and only a medium of Paramatma who takes our chitta inwards. We are able to know our own selves in the proximity of Paramatma's medium. When we know our own self, then we start understanding our capabilities and our qualities. Once our soul becomes strong, then our soul itself becomes our guru. Then we start receiving knowledge from within us about what we should do and what we shouldn't. All religions try to teach us the same thing. When you take the right decisions at the right time in life, then you become a successful person in your life. And in the future, the era of soul power is definitely going to come. So the nation in which maximum number of pure and holy souls are present will be considered to be the mightiest nation of all. Whenever you enter the spiritual world, strengthening your soul, then the spiritual powers of the world too start supporting you. Just as we see that there is night and there is day too, in the same manner, there are positive energies as well as negative energies in the world too. And it is up to you to decide which energies you wish to invite. If you think positively, then you will become a medium of positive energies. But if you think of negative, you will invite negative. The kind of thoughts you have will determine the kinds of deeds you will perform, and the kinds of company you will keep will determine the thoughts you will have. Why do we meditate regularly? Because through meditation we receive the company of all the good, pure, and holy soul in the world. And when we continuously receive such company, our soul too become pure and holy. That's why you should form the habit of waking up at 4 a.m. in your life. Whatever habits you form in your childhood will definitely become a part of your basic nature. By waking up before sunrise and meditating, we receive the company of pure and holy souls. Because pure and holy souls always wake up early in the morning and meditate, and we can wake up early in the morning only when we sleep early at night. Even all the writing work that I am doing possibly only when I wake up at 4 am, because positive energies are active early in the morning. The atmosphere is extremely peaceful in the morning. It is extremely joyful. If you wish to strengthen your soul, the soul with which you were born, then you must give importance only to your soul. You have been born with good knowledge, you have been born with good karmas, and you are born with good soul. Only this is important. Everything else has been connected only after your birth. As long as you don't rise above your own method of worship, your spiritual progress is not possible. This is because every method of worship is only a staircase to reach the soul. It is not the building, and one can reach the building only when one has climbed up all the steps of the staircase. You should spend some time every day in the solitude with your own soul. There are two benefits of this. One, your relationship with your soul itself will deepen, and secondly, you will become independent. You will never say that I am getting bored all alone. You will become independent in your life. If at all there is a stage in life when you have to be alone, then you will not have any problem with it. This is because a person indeed has to live and alone in his old age. All the people are present around you, but they are with the physical body. In the realm of thoughts, we are all alone. Make your own soul your guru. If you make your own soul your friend, then you will not need anybody else in your life. I have wandered all alone in Himalayas for many years together. It was never decided where should I go. Then I would simply ask my soul, Atmeshwarji, now where should we go? Then I used to follow the instructions for the directions, and that would start coming from within. At every step in life, I would be facing death personified. While walking on the snow covered mountains, it was difficult to ascertain if the next step that I put would be on an ice or the water. This was because many places there would be huge pits which would be filled with water but had thin layer of ice on top of it. And if I stepped on such a place, I surely would fall straight into that pit. And water in that pit used to be so icy cold, it would be impossible to come back alive because there was nobody in that place to pull me out of that hole. Therefore, I would always carry a stick with me while walking. I would take each step only after tapping the place with the stick, and this habit of walking with the stick continues to be till date. At that time, solely and only my soul used to be with me at every step, and I never felt that I was alone at all. The Himalayas have total ambience of thoughtlessness. Many great ascetics are still seated in deep meditation over there since many years, and they keep on providing their energy to those who live in society and meditate. There is a huge collectivity of people meditating in the Himalayas, and by meditating regularly, we get connected to them. When we meditate regularly, we meet people walking on the same path. We receive guidance from them. Now, look, I have not read a single book, and how am I able to write so many books? All this is not my knowledge, it is my soul's knowledge, because the body has not read any books at all, nor acquired knowledge from outside. The soul possessed all the knowledge in this world. What lies inside us, that same knowledge exists in this world. The knowledge that exists in this world, that knowledge is present within us too. I have experienced the truth about this in my life. You have the treasure trove of your young age on your own side. You have your entire life to practice meditation. You should practice meditation right from your childhood, and you can make your life successful. It is said that it is morning time whenever you wake up. Therefore, wake up now. In this way, you came to know that our body is made up of five basic elements, that the body is perishable. We have taken birth inside this body, and we have assumed the body, and we have assumed this body. And when we live in body consciousness, then we experience more about the problems of our body. Children, the moment of the present time of your life is extremely important. It is the moment of which your future is going to be built. If you remain happy now, only then will you remain happy in the future. Give up on the habit of looking at the faults of others. If you continue with this habit, then it will become difficult for you to see your own faults because our chitta remains outward. In the same way, if we start searching for Paramatma outside, then we can neither ever search for Paramatma nor attain him through physical efforts. Thus is the personal experience of my lifetime. However, if we cannot attain Paramatma either without having a physical body, but we can attain him through the prayers done by the physical body. Have complete faith in the prayer wherever, whatever. I have attained in my life, I have done it so solely and only through prayer. Prayer has dual benefits. Firstly, we pray after connecting with holy energy of high level, which is higher than us. Secondly, the ego or the body that I will do it, I can do it, comes to an end. Then that is when prayer is born. Prayer must always be beyond physical expectations, physical selfishness, and physical needs. Always pray for Paramatma's proximity in life and pray for obtaining Paramatma's proximity. Then your soul will become so strong in the proximity of Paramatma that all your bodily needs and expectations will get resolved automatically. These bodily needs and expectations are never ending. Therefore, do not pay much attention to them. Always remember that Paramatma exists right inside you. You experience problem in your life only because you are not connected properly with Paramatma. Once the connection with Paramatma is proper, then you will not experience any problems at all. We have problems because there are problems inside us. If there is no problems inside us, then we will not have any problems in our life. The physical body is a vehicle given by Paramatma. The more we keep our body clean and healthy, then much more it will help us in our life. Always take care of your body, exercise regularly, have good food, eat properly. The sole objective of your body is to attain self realization and to know one's own self. People have knowledge of the entire world, but they do not have any knowledge about their own self. You should not do this. You should know yourself because the future is going to be extremely competitive one, and those who know themselves and their capabilities and then participate in this competition are indeed going to be rare in the future. You will be the only one who will enter the competition after knowing your own self. Then you are sure to be successful in this lifetime. And this is definitely going to happen. My blessings are always there with you. That's all. Just be aware, all this always. The soul has assumed this body only to attain the state of liberation, the moksha. The body is a car and the soul is its driver. The existence of the soul in our body is extremely subtle. We ourselves have to be aware of its existence and increase consciousness of it. And by surrendering our body to our soul, we have to make our life joyful and happy and safe. Our life should be in the control of our soul itself. If we are able to do so, then we will be able to make our life joyful and secure. Because once our life becomes soul centric, then the light of the soul will form an aura and gives us 24-hour protection. And then we will come out safely from even the worst situations and the worst atmospheres. Lots of blessings to you all. Your own Baba Swami.